Smoke in my hands. How cigarettes got me. I was 14 when my Aunt Mara showed up at our house in Missoula, Montana, during the hottest summer I'd ever lived through. The air smelled of dry pine and melting asphalt, and she arrived with a beat-up backpack and a crumpled pack of Marlboro Reds shoved in the pocket of her denim jacket. "I'm staying for a while," she said, her voice raspy, as my mom, Eliza, nodded with a tight-lipped grimace. They were sisters, but they'd barely spoken since Mara ditched everything. Husband, job, life, and vanished for 2 years. Now she was back, no explanation, and I knew I'd be the one stuck with her. Mom worked the night shift at the paper mill, so I was alone with Mara most of the time. I didn't mind. She had a loose, almost wild way about her that drew me in like a magnet. Mom never smoked, said it was for people with no sense. Mara, though, she seemed to live on nicotine. I'd watch her in the backyard, slouched in a cracked plastic chair, her brown hair falling into her eyes as she lit a Marlboro Red with a silver Zippo. She'd take a deep drag, hold the smoke like it was something precious, then let it out slow, half through her mouth, half through her nose. It was hypnotic, the thick smoke rising in the heat, the lighter's snap, the ember glowing bright. I'd stand at the kitchen window spying, a weird thrill in my gut I couldn't name. Mom caught me sometimes. "Stop staring at her, Jade. I don't want you near that mess." But I couldn't. It was like Mara was a secret I had to unravel. One night, Mom was at work, and Mara called me out. "Come here, kid. Too hot to stay inside." I hesitated but went. She had a cheap beer in one hand, a Marlboro Red in the other, legs crossed, barefoot on the grass. "Wanna try?" she asked, holding out the red pack. My heart jumped. "Mom'll kill me," I said, but my hand was already moving. She chuckled low. "Your mom doesn't run everything. Just don't tell." I grabbed a cigarette, fingers shaky, and she lit it for me. The first drag was brutal. The heavy smoke of the Marlboro Red tore at my throat, and I coughed until I gagged, eyes watering. Mara laughed harder. "Easy, girl. Pull light, let it sink in." I tried again, slower, and the smoke went down. Hot, bitter, thick. I exhaled slow, copying her, and felt a buzz in my head, like the world slowed down. "See? Not so bad," she said, patting my shoulder. At first, it was just curiosity. I wanted to feel what she felt, that freedom that came with every drag of a Marlboro Red. It became our ritual. Mom left for her shift, and I'd bolt to the backyard. Mara taught me, inhale through the nose, blow smoke rings, hold the cigarette like it belonged. I loved it, the strong taste, the way the smoke wrapped around me, the feeling of being more than Eliza's boring daughter. "Smoking keeps me alive," she'd say, dragging deep, and I believed her. At 14, I wanted to be anything but what Mom expected. But it didn't stay fun for long. After a couple weeks, I was asking for a Marlboro every night. Mara'd hand one over, sometimes with a weird look. "You're liking this too much, huh?" I'd laugh, but she was right. It wasn't just the ritual, it was the heat in my throat, the way the smoke eased my restless nerves. One night, I smoked 2 in a row, sitting on the grass while she talked about a bar fight in Seattle. My head spun, but I liked it. The Marlboro Red held me, gave me something I didn't know I needed. "Watch out, Jade. This grabs you," she warned, stubbing hers out. I shrugged. I thought I had it under control. Then came the first sign. Mom took a random day off and stayed home. Mara bailed to the corner bar, and I was stuck in my room, antsy. My hands started shaking, my chest got tight, a hollow feeling I didn't get. I needed a cigarette. I tore through everything, backpack, drawers, even the kitchen trash, hunting for a stray Marlboro from Mara. Nothing. When she got back, reeking of whiskey and tobacco, I pounced. "Give me one, please." She raised an eyebrow. "Already there, huh?" She handed me a Marlboro Red, and I smoked it fast, greedy, the smoke filling me like air after a dive. My body eased up, but my mind buzzed. I was losing the reins. After that, I started clocking the hours. If Mom was home, I'd wait for her to crash and smoke out my window, blowing it outside to kill the smell. But it wasn't enough. I craved more. One afternoon, Mara was in the yard, and I'd already had 3 Marlboro Reds that day. "Another?" she asked, surprised, when I begged. "I'm stressed," I lied. She gave it to me but said, "You're smoking more than me, girl." She was right. I was at 5, 6 a day, and each one felt shorter, like my body was guzzling the nicotine faster. The addiction locked in on a Friday. Mom was at work, and Mara left me alone to meet a friend. She'd given me half a pack of Marlboro Reds before splitting. I smoked one doing homework, another watching TV, one more in the yard just because. By 10, I checked the pack. 2 left. My stomach dropped. It wouldn't last till she got back. I lit one trying to stretch it, but my hands shook, and I dragged too hard, coughing till my chest burned. I stubbed it out and stared at the last one, heart racing. Save it for tomorrow, I thought, but half an hour later, I was smoking it too, panic eating me alive. When it was gone, I paced in circles, sweating, wanting to scream. That was the first time I felt the hole, a void only a Marlboro Red could fill. Next day, I stole $5 from Mom's purse and ran to the store on Route 93, the only one that sold to minors without ID. I bought a pack of Marlboro Reds, lit one behind a pole, and felt the relief hit hard. I smoked 2 more before Mom got home, stashing the pack under my mattress. That night, I dreamed of smoke, waking up with the taste in my mouth, my body begging for it. That's when it hit me. One morning, about 3 weeks after Mara gave me my first, I woke up coughing, chest heavy. I grabbed a Marlboro Red from my stash and lit it before even getting out of bed. The first drag was a punch. My head cleared, but my heart raced. I can't be needing this, I thought, staring at the cigarette in my hand. I tried going without, tossed the pack in the bathroom trash and swore I'd quit. It didn't last 2 hours. My mouth dried out, my hands sweated, and a dull ache squeezed my forehead. I dug through the trash, grabbed the crumpled pack, and lit one, shaking as the smoke saved me. "What the hell is this?" I muttered, dread sinking in. I couldn't stop. I tried again a few days later. Mom was at work, and I decided I'd go a whole day without, to prove I could. I locked the pack in my drawer and headed to school. By 11, I was a wreck. Legs jittery, head throbbing, an emptiness I couldn't shake. At lunch, I bolted to the parking lot and bummed a Marlboro Red from Shelley. "You okay?" she asked, handing it over. "No," I said, lighting it fast. The smoke settled me, but the fear stuck. I'm not gonna be able to quit, I thought, watching the ember. My stomach churned. I was screwed, and I knew it. The summer ended, and Mara left as suddenly as she came. "Gotta move on," she said, slinging her backpack over her shoulder and handing me a final pack of Marlboro Reds. "Take care, kid." Mom didn't ask where she was going, just locked the door and went back to her laptop. I was already at 10 a day, swiping change from Mom to buy more. I tried hiding it, but she found a pack in my room. "What the hell is this?" she yelled, throwing the Marlboro Reds in my face. "You're 15. You wanna end up like her." I snatched the pack, stormed to the yard, and lit one right in front of her. "It's done, Mom. I smoke. Leave me alone." She stood there, stunned, then went inside, slamming the door. By 16, I gave up. Quitting wasn't an option anymore. I'd try, ditch the pack, but I'd be back at the store in hours, my body screaming for nicotine. I hit 15, 20 Marlboro Reds a day, whatever I could scrape together. I'd wake up coughing, chest tight, needing one with coffee to function. Last week, I forgot my pack at school. By 2, I was a mess. Hands sweating, head splitting. I bummed one from Shelley and smoked it leaning on a car, the relief knocking me down. No point fighting it, I thought, dragging deep. The fear of never quitting faded. I surrendered. I loved the weight of the Marlboro Red in my hand, the thick smoke, the burn down my throat. Mom barely looks at me now. "You're just like her," she mutters, turning up the TV to drown it out. Maybe I am. Mara gave me the smoke, and I let it take me.